Number 20. 1964 Pontiac GTO. Before the GTO, quarter-mile dominance wasn't something you expected from a mid-size street car. But when Pontiac dropped a 389 cubic inch V8 into the Tempest platform, everything changed. Early GTOs immediately proved they could run the quarter mile in the mid-1/4-second range straight from the factory, a shocking number for the time. With optional tri-power carburation and aggressive gearing, the GTO quickly became a terror at stoplight drag races across America. It wasn't the fastest muscle car ever built, but it was the one that started the war. Number 19. 1965 Chevrolet Malibu SSZ16. Chevrolet answered Pontiac with subtlety and brute force. The Z16 Malibu looked almost ordinary, but under the hood sat a 396 cubic inch big block V8, producing 375 horsepower. Only 201 were built, and every single one was engineered to go fast in a straight line. Period tests showed quarter-mile times in the low 14 seconds, remarkable for a car that didn't advertise its intentions loudly. The Z16 proved that big block power and traction were the formula for dominance. Number 18. 1966 Dodge Charger 426 Hemi. The first-generation Charger was heavy and luxurious, but when equipped with the Hemi, weight became irrelevant. The 426 cubic inch Hemi delivered relentless power, allowing Chargers to blast through the quarter mile in the mid-1/3-second range, despite their size. Seeing a full-size fastback, Dodge outrun lighter muscle cars shocked many competitors and cemented the Hemi's reputation as the ultimate drag strip weapon. Number 17. 1967 Chevrolet Camaro SSL 78. The Camaro was Chevrolet's answer to the Mustang, but the L78 big block version turned it into something far more serious. With a 396 cubic inch engine, officially rated at 375 horsepower, L78 Camaros regularly ran low, 13-second quarter miles. With slicks and tuning, they could do even better. On Friday nights at drag strips across the country, L78 Camaros became known for embarrassing cars that looked far more intimidating on paper. Number 16. 1968 Plymouth Roadrunner. Plymouth built the Roadrunner for one purpose: straight-line speed at the lowest possible price. Even the standard 383 V8 versions could run the quarter mile in the low 14 seconds, while optional 426 Hemi cars dipped into the 11-second range. The Roadrunner dominated because it was light, simple, and brutally effective. It didn't just win races, it changed what buyers expected from affordable performance. Number 15. 1968 Dodge Dart Hemi Superstock. These were not normal street cars. Built specifically to dominate NHRA Superstock racing, Hemi Darts came from the factory nearly race-ready. With a massive 426 Hemi stuffed into a compact body, they delivered quarter-mile times in the low 10-second range. Few cars before or since have been so thoroughly optimized for drag racing straight from the factory. Number 14. 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 396. The Chevelle SS struck the perfect balance between size, weight, and power. Equipped with the L78 396 engine, these cars consistently ran low 13-second quarter miles. Their predictable handling and excellent weight transfer made them favorites at local drag strips, where consistency mattered just as much as raw power. Number 13. 1969 Pontiac GTO Judge. The Judge package wasn't just about wild colors and graphics. Beneath the exterior sat serious performance hardware, including the Ram Air 3 and optional Ram Air IV engines. Ram Air i4 Judges were capable of quarter-mile times in the high 12-second range, putting them among the quickest street cars of their era and making Pontiac a force to be reckoned with on the drag strip. Number 12. 1969 Ford Mustang Mach 1 428 Cobra Jet. Ford's 428 Cobra Jet engine was built specifically to dominate drag racing. Installed in the Mach 1, it delivered immense low-end torque and shockingly quick acceleration. Cobra Jet Mustangs routinely ran the quarter mile in the low 13 seconds, with some dipping into the high 12 seconds. They became legends almost overnight, particularly at NHRA tracks across the country. Number 11. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. Known primarily for its NASCAR success, the Daytona was also brutally effective in a straight line. With optional Hemi power, these aerodynamic monsters could blast through the quarter mile in the low 13 seconds. The sight of a winged Charger rocketing down the strip was unforgettable, and it proved that aerodynamics could matter even in short-distance racing. Number 10. 1970 Buick GS Stage 1. Buick didn't chase high-horsepower numbers, but the GS Stage 1 delivered something arguably more important: torque. With over 500 pound-feet available, these cars launched violently off the line. Quarter-mile times in the low 13 seconds were common, and with tuning, they could dip even lower. The GS Stage 1 dominated through sheer force rather than flash. Number 9. 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 LS6. The LS6 Chevelle was pure drag strip dominance in factory form. With an officially rated 450 horsepower, it was the most powerful muscle car of its era. Even on street tires, LS6 Chevelles could run the quarter mile in the low 13 seconds, and with traction, they quickly proved capable of much more. Few cars struck fear into competitors like an LS6 lining up in the next lane. Number 8. 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. Compact, aggressive, and powered by the legendary 426 Hemi, the Hemi Cuda was a natural-born drag racer. These cars regularly ran low, 13-second quarter miles, and could dip into the 11 seconds with minimal modifications. Their dominance came from combining massive power with relatively light weight, a formula that never failed on the strip. Number 7. 1970 Dodge Challenger 426 Hemi. Larger than the Cuda, but just as ferocious, the Hemi Challenger delivered devastating straight-line performance. With proper gearing, these cars could run quarter-mile times comparable to the Cuda, while offering more stability at high speed. On drag strips nationwide, Hemi Challengers quickly earned reputations as cars to avoid racing for money. Number 6. 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. The ZL1 Camaro was essentially a race car sold through dealerships. With an all-aluminum 427 producing well over its official 430 horsepower rating, ZL1 Camaros could run the quarter mile in the low 11 seconds right off the showroom floor. Few street cars have ever dominated the drag strip so completely with so little modification. Number 5. 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt. Built solely to win drag races, the Thunderbolt was a factory-backed weapon. Its 427 cubic inch engine and lightweight construction allowed it to run quarter-mile times in the low 11 seconds and even high 10 seconds in the hands of skilled drivers. The Thunderbolt didn't just dominate the strip, it rewrote the rulebook for factory drag cars. Number 4. 1963 Chevrolet Impala Z11. Full-size and ferocious, the Z11 Impala shocked the drag racing world. Thanks to extensive weight reduction and a special 427 engine, these cars ran times competitive with dedicated race machines. The idea that a large Chevrolet could dominate the quarter mile changed perceptions overnight. Number 3. 1968 Plymouth Barracuda Hemi Superstock. Even among Hemi cars, the Superstock Barracuda stood apart. These cars were engineered with one goal: win races. Capable of consistent low 10-second quarter-mile passes, they dominated NHRA competition and left little doubt about Chrysler's drag racing supremacy. Number 2. 1967 Ford Shelby GT 500 Super Snake. Although built as a one-off, the Super Snake represented the absolute peak of quarter-mile potential for a street-legal muscle car. With a race-bred 427 engine producing around 600 horsepower, it was capable of speeds and acceleration that bordered on the unreal for its era. Its dominance wasn't widespread, but its impact was enormous. Number 1. 1966 Dodge Charger Hemi Superstock. When it came to quarter-mile domination, nothing combined power, traction, and factory intent like the Hemi Superstock Charger. Built to win and nothing else, these cars consistently ran deep into the 10-second range. They weren't subtle, they weren't comfortable, and they weren't common. But on the drag strip, they were nearly unbeatable, earning their place as one of the most dominant muscle cars the quarter mile has ever seen.